Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I have got a unique video for you today that I think you'll really enjoy. The major issues with XRP and Ripple, which have been under scrutiny since 2018, warrant an in-depth exploration from the outset. We've invested in XRP, so let's have a look at what the team's been up to and why the price hasn't been steadily rising. In other words, what Ripple is doing is not helping the value of XRP or merchants in any way. Ripple was founded by the same group of people responsible for XRP and XRPL, who awarded themselves a total of 80 billion XRP. As a result, this might not be the most technically sound remark to make right off the bat. But I guess a lot of it is true. It's possible to achieve additional nuance in the distribution. The short answer is yes. In my opinion, Ripple is no longer bound to increase the price of XRP. I see this as a major issue at stake in the SEC case against the Ripple network. That we have no such obligation is made abundantly clear by Ripple. On the other hand, these people think the XRP price would benefit from a Ripple. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because of this. In order to facilitate private XRP loans and facilitate institutional, commercial, and governmental use of XRP, Ripple first created a private liquidity hub, or its own XRP liquidity pool. In addition, CBDCs are building a private ledger for Ripple as the cryptocurrency will be used exclusively by the Ripple platform. Odio's on-demand liquidity will be privatized, the value of XRP is unaffected in a positive way, and retailers have given up the struggle. To be honest, I'm not convinced by this. Now, I want to make it clear. It's possible that Ripple uses its own private XRP liquidity pools. Who is to say they can't, though? If one solution meets the needs of Ripple's consumers better than another, then that's the one we'll use. They will also use private liquidity pools if they exist, which is perfectly legal. Just as Ripple can't stop me from spending my XRP whatever I like, neither can anyone else. The claim that doing so would have no effect on the price of XRP is also false. Because XRP can't leave these storage areas for the time being. If Ripple is hoarding significant amounts, then it won't be traded freely. Since the market is driven by supply and demand, this drastically decreases the available XRP. If Ripple has huge liquidity pools to move institutional volume, the XRP price will rise because that volume will not be resold on the market. As a result, 0.1 is confusing to me. It appears that most of this makes no sense. If you want to invest in Ripple or join its board of directors and think the company should offer these services differently, you are free to do so. However, I was unable to fathom the legitimacy of an anonymous XRP holder criticizing Ripple on these grounds. Second, financial institutions who wish to hold XRP buy it from Ripple either directly or through the over-the-counter market. Ripple is now officially in possession of 6 billion XRP. They have $4.0 billion in cash stashed away in various accounts. Furthermore, 46 billion XRP are being kept as collateral. In addition, Ripple facilitates non-cash contracts via options contracts in which companies pre-allocate XRP sums. There has been no positive impact on the price of XRP, and many merchants have given up the struggle. Again, if you exclusively work in institutional asset management, you know that huge sums of money are always being moved around over the counter. This is not unique to Bitcoin, rather, it is true of every asset in existence. So, this isn't out of the ordinary at all. Neither do I think it's a valid criticism. That's how things work with money in the banking system. Again, this affects the value of XRP even if it is not traded openly. Simply put, it decreases available stock, which in turn causes prices to rise as a result of increased demand. Increasing exchange bids is not always the case. So, once again, I think they are opposed to Ripple because of the company's business practices. If you don't like how Ripple does business, you probably don't know much about how big companies operate. For example, selling XRP on the spot market and assisting institutions in direct spot market purchases are not allowed by Ripple because doing so would cause liquidity to evaporate. I can see why you might be upset with Ripple for their large XRP hoard. However, I think your frustration stems from a misunderstanding of how this process actually works. However, the distribution was not always made, despite Ripple's frequent assertions that we regret keeping so much XRP. Undeniably correct. Keep in mind that before the vast majority of cryptocurrency projects existed, Ripple began releasing XRP. If there were an easier way to unload XRP and move it to the ecosystem, I think Ripple would do it. The SEC has filed suit against them for selling XRP. And they said, oh well, since we have all this XRP, the SEC will always give a damn, we tried to spread it. So, I guess that's where the criticism of Ripple may begin. Despite the fact that I don't view the company as particularly evil. Any project in the sky can be asked about in detail. But it's a tricky problem to solve. One of the trickiest parts is determining how to distribute tokens. Third, the duration of the settlement is brief, lasting between 3 and 5 seconds. Neither buying nor selling XRP is required. The bulk of financial institutions, according to Ripple, will only accept XRP. The center of its liquidity. There have been no positive effects on the price of XRP, and many merchants have given up the struggle. This, to me, is the height of absurdity. You need the most efficient and quickly transacted cryptocurrency available. So far, so good. If it takes less than 5 seconds per transaction and removes the need for banks and other financial institutions to keep substantial amounts in reserve, then it is considered fast. You need the most efficient digital asset possible. However, you should not design a digital asset in such a way that its value grows at an exponential rate. Let me just add that every single cryptocurrency I've seen that uses price manipulation to get more attention, like Sailor Moon, ends up failing in the long term. Furthermore, it is completely false to think that you are not required to hold or acquire XRP. It was either the second or the first bullet point that mentioned Ripple's XRP hoarding. In order to have some cash on hand, financial institutions will react in the same way regardless of how quickly transactions are taking place. Because I consider ADL to be an excellent product, I find it difficult to empathize with anyone in this situation. To me, that makes no sense at all. There are currently 448 billion XRP in circulation, with 1 XRP equaling 1 million drops. Counting individual droplets results in astronomical sums. Despite his calculations showing that an outrageous 52 billion XRP will soon be added to the supply and circulation, the price of XRP has remained relatively unchanged. This only means that XRP is being split up into smaller pieces, which makes no sense to me at all. That, in a nutshell, is how XRP is split up. In light of this, I don't think I'm understanding the argument. I'll just ignore the fact that every month there are only 5 closed escrows. 1 billion XRP. Even if Ripple sells 200 million XRP on exchanges and firms buy straight from Ripple, the price of XRP will not rise. Once again, Ripple is not changing how it does business. Ripple's duty on the channel is to prevent the XRP price from being artificially inflated. I've made every effort to be quite clear on this point. Ripple uses XRP exclusively in its offerings. If you're an XRP bull, you think the XRPL will replace all other methods of international money transfer as the best option in the long run. Liquidity needs will rise as a result of the increased activity on the XRPL. And the price of XRP must rise so that it can accommodate more money flowing through it. Thus, the function of Ripple is not to propel XRP higher. Rather, Ripple's mission is to boost XRP's value by creating new items that can be purchased with the cryptocurrency. Sixth, the way in which Ripple earns money, which is only through the buying and selling of XRP from the escrow, as well as their own doing. Since it generates hundreds of millions, if not billions, of dollars annually, it has little bearing on the value of XRP. This is false, as Ripple also offers software for sale. Ripple's main source of revenue right now is from XRP sales. However, they also generate money via software sales because they had to raise $200 million to pay for legal defense after being sued by the SEC. In fact, Ripple is making money off of XRP sales. Indeed, XRP is being offered for sale via Ripple. I, too, do this since XRP is routinely exchanged for fiat currency. This is the most constructive critique they've gotten, in my opinion. I can understand the concerns of those who are against the Ripple sale of XRP. But a tiny sum of money won't be enough to shake up city banks like JP Morgan and Swift. You can't undermine the world's major financial institutions by growing Ripple to the point where we all want it to be. And maybe even be invited to join in on some of these conversations as a participant. You can claim that Ripple shouldn't be selling XRP if you require billions of dollars, but that would be a stretch. It's a risk and reward situation, sure, but you might complain that Ripple's widespread acceptance isn't what you had in mind for the currency. Ripple has nothing but high hopes for XRP. They probably want to keep as much of it in their possession as possible. They are effectively saying, okay, it kind of stinks that we have to dump this XRP when they do so. However, increasing adoption will require immediate financial support. In the grand scheme of things, this is inevitable. I've already used Elon Musk as an example of someone selling Tesla stock, despite not wanting to. He needs money, but that's really all he needs right now. Finally, if you want your money to increase in the short term, you'll need to sell part of it occasionally. Therefore, I fail to see the big deal here. I can see how this could be considered a FUD argument. But I think it's important to remember that Ripple competes in a cutthroat market. After all, we're discussing the international currency in an effort to topple that same order. To use Ripple, you'll need cash on hand. Given the size of the sum they wish to dispose of, XRP is their only viable alternative. After all is said and done, this doesn't seem like a negative thing to me. Since I've been keeping up with Ripple and XRP, I've grown to see them as a very careful custodian of the XRP ledger. They constantly seem to be making an attempt to do the right thing. Perhaps they did something I didn't approve of or made a few mistakes along the way. However, I think they rank among the most responsible Bitcoin companies. There is persistent interest in the XRP ledger. It continues to be a worldwide issue for commercial enterprises. And if that trend continues, I think we'll all be able to look back and agree that these times were total fluff. In light of all this, I can't help but conclude that most people just have no idea how the institutions handled the situation. Institutions must develop products and campaign for their widespread use. They have no plans to implement a minor increase in the price of XRP to placate merchants. They are thinking ahead and realize that if XRP gains widespread usage, none of these difficulties will have any bearing on the outcome. Instead than saying, oh, you should have done this tiny thing differently, it emphasizes the big picture. The future of XRP will bring great joy to its users. Wish you would have approached it this way. If I had 1,000 XRP, instead of 50 cents, I would have $1. We shouldn't confine our attention to such a narrow area of study. Similarly, I don't think Ripple should be so laser-focused. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming today. I'm hoping you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. See you later, bye.